Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're going to play over on the test server. Checking out the new heroes. We have Raku and we have Peggy that are up. Interesting name, Peggy, that they went with the hero. So ultimately we're going to check out the heroes. I am going to borrow them out of the trials so you can actually try both the heroes. They give them pretty well geared. They do have some furniture items, a couple other things for them as well. Thank you guys for joining me. We got Soul Skater, we got Hills, Showcase, FTRD is in the house with Zelda, Incognito, Abraham, a bunch of people here. Thank you for joining me for the stream. So ultimately, looking at the two brand new heroes, a lot of people have been saying that overall, not a big fan of Peggy is what I've been getting from Discord. I know it's really early, but very interesting. They've said Peggy doesn't seem too cool, where Raku seems very, very cool that a lot of players want to build. So ultimately, I'm excited to see her ultimate ability with her guards. The big thing with her is going to be how the guards survive. So essentially, if she's summoning these guards and they die very, very quickly, it's not really going to do much of anything because essentially she's going to lose her defense too fast. The defense and also the damage. So ultimately, that is what we see when you look at a hero like Solus with her Floral Spectre. It dies very quick. When you look at Baden and you look at his minions, they die way too quick, which means that they don't have the opportunity to guard and they don't have the opportunity to shield. What's going on, Dark Blaine? King of Death, Sam. So ultimately, very cool with the Royal Guards. I love any hero that brings more heroes in. I love the ads. I love the summons, the Grez, the Baden, Nemitsu with the totems. Plus, they do offer a stun effect with those Royal Guards. Then the Royal Scroll, which is a heal. So she actually has a heal, which is pretty cool. Depending on how powerful the heal is, she can heal 2 allies. Then, of course, the Royal Marksman is just damage. So they actually come in the back line. They go ahead and knock out the target's accuracy and haste, which is very powerful as well. So we're going to test her out. But again, a lot of people are super stoked about Raku. So ultimately, Raku, the ultimate ability, he busts out this giant slingshot, the Acorn Cannon, and shoots heroes with it, which is very cool because it does 330% damage. Then it does an additional damage dealt is equal to 65% of the health the enemy already lost, plus it stuns. So it's got a very, very multi-asset functionality going on there. The Peckish, he raises his attack rating and his haste when he eats food. Attack rating is increased by 50%. Haste is raised by 50 points. That is a monster buff, especially when that is just his guys. That is him by himself. So putting him in a formation where other heroes are going to further raise this amount would be very cool to see. What's going on? Hilderana. Javid's in the house as well. Yeah, she looks very tanky, which is interesting, Hills, because she looks tanky for a support class. So I'm not sure exactly how that is going to work. Entangled Shot, I love. So imprisoning them for 4 seconds in roots, which is good because a 4-second stun or a 4-second root is very, very strong. And then ultimately, Raku's Mark is the next one, which based on crowd control ability. So I could see it working with Pippa, with Tassie, with a couple other heroes that damage dealt to any enemies under the effects of crowd control is increased by 45%. So could be very, very cool as well. Again, those are our 2 new heroes that are coming up. So super stoked to see them. I'm swapping my 930 blender for Oden. Very nice, D. So the other thing that came out, of course, is this chest, guys. So you actually received this chest in Chapter 8. If you look, so this is kind of a different version of the advancement rewards. So as you're progressing through the game, they're going to give you different resources or different things that you can collect. We have some EXP there. We have some chests here, which is going to be rare faction cards, which is cool. Completing Chapter 12 here, we get heroes. So they're straight up just giving us heroes, which I think Respen in there. But I think a majority of the new heroes are just going to be in here, and they're giving you them for free. So as you continue your progression, I see Kren in there. If you're looking for copies of Damon, so essentially, I'm going to save that one right now to see who we're going to use it for. We get a little bit more loot here. This one gives us gear. So you can pick what you want. Again, we're gonna go ahead and save this because if there's a piece that we're really looking for, definitely picking this up. So remember guys, this is all free. So, you know, the 2-year anniversary is coming up for AFK Arena. This is free. So they're gonna go ahead and just give you a faction gear choice piece, which is awesome in my opinion. Most games do not do that whatsoever. You get some more there. And then of course we get another one here, guys. So we can pick 2 faction items that we've been looking for, which we've already got the reset scrolls. We've already got a couple different things in there to make that very, very cool. 7,000. And then of course the chapter or the change scroll. So the swap scroll. A lot of people have had questions about this. Yep, the new swap scroll can swap heroes that are linked with the dimensional. I'm not sure the linked hero, I would assume on that point, yep, would go down to a really crappy hero, would go down to whatever you fused it with. Yeah, whatever you swapped. Swapping is permanent, just like Dee said. Thank you for pointing it out. Also, you can't swap any of the Celestials or Hypogean heroes. So this is just the regular 4 factions only, and it does go across factions. So a lot of players were asking today, a lot of messages I got, when you go ahead and swap, can you swap across factions? Which the answer is yes. Here we have, guys, my Chimera. So the Chimera is maxed out plus 30 signature item. She has her 9 of 9 furniture. She's my main carry on the test server. So this has always been the main carry for the test server, which was always very, very cool to see, which is the reason that I completely maxed her out. So we can save that. If we wanted to swap her to a hero that's a lot more functional now, we could swap her to someone like Rain. Boom, there we go. So actually Rain would get all of the abilities of Ascended Chimera. She would pick up all her 3 stars. She would pick up her furniture. She would pick up the plus 30 signature item. So it'd be very, very cool to see the swap. So remember, we only get 1 scroll. So essentially this scroll is going to be a reset where if you had a hero from long ago, a lot of players that have been playing AFK Arena for a significant amount of time have heroes that they built, maybe heroes they built, such as this Chimera with 9 of 9. Again, we did this because it's the test server and it's really fun to play around with. And ultimately switching it to a hero that is going to benefit us now that we're in chapter 28 versus the carry that she has been through the entire game. Yep, some of the limitations, no Celestials, no Hypogean heroes, and also you cannot swap any heroes that are in the heroic ship. Again, a lot of people have asked about this today. You cannot swap heroes which are in here. So essentially, if I had my 5-star Chimera, I swap it to a 5-star Respin, just like you see here, I would get all of these rewards, which is why they limit it to the heroes that are not in the heroic ship. So yep, none of the brand new heroes. So I can't have Raku drop, go ahead and swap him to get him 9 of 9 plus 30 signature item on Raku when he drops. They are waiting till after they leave that heroic ship, which is very, very cool. I would swap them because I don't need their 9 of 9 and they would stay ascended anyways. So all I'm losing is the 9 of 9. The mailman, you just want to make sure that you get what you're looking for, because don't swap a hero if you're looking for like a 3 of 9 to a 9 of 9 just to fix one like that. I would just save the scroll at that point. What's going on, Minty? Thank you for joining us for the stream. I hope the chat's a little better. I resized the chat so I think people can see it a lot better in there. That way we can read it. We made it as big as we could up there so we could follow it. I'm stacked for Ein's weapon, beginning with the 3 refreshes per day. Yeah, tier stones we cannot get to yet. So tier 3 stones were released with this. As we've seen from other patches, it has been probably 6 or 8 months since the tier stones came out. The tier 3 and the tier 4 stones were both entered into the game. So we know they are in the code of the game, but Lilith has never released them. Now we're finally seeing the tier 3 stones. Ultimately, once you get into chapter 30, you can pick up the tier 3 stones, and they do come in the store. So you'll actually be able to pick up the tier 3 stones out of the store. I believe it says you can buy 2 per month is all that it is limited to. You can get them out of AFK rewards, which makes me wonder, honestly, if the faster rewards are going to allow you to get those tier 3 stones. So essentially, once the patch drops on the global server, I'm thinking, and I would absolutely imagine, the fast rewards are going to be farmed for tier 3 stones. Would be my thought if they do come out of the fast rewards when it drops, is essentially whaling this for a lot of players to pick up tier 3 stones very, very early. Because remember, if you have a limited access to the tier 3 stones, it's going to make a big difference when it comes to PvP. If I'm a player that can whale and pick up a bunch of tier 3 stones, that might give me the little bit of essentially advantage that I need. Jaden, can you swap the scrolls on Celestials? No, you cannot. Celestials and Hypogeans, you cannot. It is going for, it is the regular 4 factions only. Celestials and Hypogeans, you cannot swap for. How heavily do you recommend pushing the Resonating Crystal once you've upgraded it past 240? What virus right now, push it as much as you can. Honestly, once you get the Resonating Crystal up past 240, which I'm at 315, the biggest thing that you can do to add strength in AFK Arena is levels. The biggest thing that you need is levels at that point once you start getting at level 240, because essentially every single sub level that you gain in here, which right now we're maxed out, but every single sub level you get in here, every single main level you get in here is going to increase the power of every single hero that you possess, which is the reason definitely pushing the Resonating Crystal. So back in the day, the Resonating Crystal, you really wanted to hold off on because of the Twisted Realm. So the Twisted Realm, they've made a ton of adjustments since you've kind of withheld your levels from the Resonating Crystal. Now you can just go ahead and push it as much as you can when it comes here. Again, that is going to be directly related to your combat rating, is pushing that Resonating Crystal. Yeah, I know D knows a little bit that the tier 3 stones, it seemed like they have specific heroes that it can go to with special bonuses. So I did see a couple screenshots of like, I think one on Saurus, there was 1 or 2 on a Graveborn hero. So yeah, when you get to the tier 2 stones, so essentially looking at Chimera, when you get to the tier 2, it has to be 5 stars, and then you can actually enchant it, or you can actually drop the stone on it, which, there it is, guys. So looking right now, this is going to be what the tier stone is. There it is. So if we do use our tier 3 stone on Chimera, so here's the gear attributes. You can see what it's going from tier 2 to tier 3 right here. So I mean, from 54 to 96 is almost doubling. I mean, it's almost close to doubling what they're doing. But in addition, it is going to make this weapon bound to Chimera. As you can see here, Chimera exclusive attributes. It is going to give her a 0.7, look at that, a 4% boost to attack rating, defense, and then PR, physical resistance, of 0.6, which I think PR is physical resistance. That's what I think it is. What's going on, Hyatt? So essentially, that is going to be the tier gear that's going to go up. So this little Graveborn faction icon actually turns to Chimera's face. And then I believe that is it. Correct me if I'm wrong, D. You can't swap the tier 3 gear after that. It is specific to one hero, and it is stuck on one hero. You do have to have it tier 2, meaning you got to use the tier 1 and the tier 2 stones, and you got to have it 5 stars to go ahead and build that up to the tier 3. So very, very cool to see. Not sure if I have any, if anyone else, yeah, he has tier 2. So go ahead and strengthen. Right here is Pharrell. Yep, HP, defense, crit, and then PR right there again. And again, 58 to 101. So going from tier 2 to tier 3 is going to be absolutely huge. If Saurus is equipping the weapon when you're tiering up, the bonus will be granted to Saurus going forward. The bonus will be only for Saurus. For anyone else, it's identical to tier 2 5-star. Yeah, D, that's what I thought. So you can't change it. So once I upgrade this, so essentially once I strengthen this to the tier 3, it is essentially going to be bound to Pharrell because it is going to give him the tier bonus. Yep, there we go. So anyone can wear it. So essentially it's going to be the tier 2 5-star for everybody else. And then we're going to get this big bonus if we drop an M4L. So very, very cool. I thought the tier 3 became useful for every class. I don't know if it's class specific Soul Skater. It could be, but I think like Dee was saying that anyone can wear it, but it won't get the additional stat bonus. So like I said, when I seen it earlier on, they had a piece on Saurus. It was on Saurus. This little icon changed to Saurus's face with the tier 3, meaning that he gets the exclusive bonus, and everybody else, I'm essentially, what they're saying is you'll get tier 2 5-star gear for everybody else. What is the best option for swap scrolls? Chimera, plus 33 of 9, Isolde, Namora, Rez. Honestly, Smoker, because we know the swap scroll is there, I would continue with a lot of heroes and just build them. I mean, so essentially, Smoker, the way that I see it is if you're swapping Chimera because she has a plus 30 signature item, 3 of 9 furniture, 3 of 9 furniture is really not that big of an investment when it comes to Chimera. Also because she's used in the Twisted Realm. Her plus 30 signature item is a little bit of an overkill, but you'll rank higher on Dark Namora. And essentially, all you're foregoing, you're going to use your swap scroll to get 300 red chests back. Would be the only thing, Smoker. Essentially, right now, like I said, when I get it, I'm going to save it just because I want to see what's coming. I know a lot of players are going to swap to Grez. That's why I threw out that PSA. A lot of players I can see swapping. So essentially right here, I have Chimera. I want to swap Chimera for 9 of 9 plus 30 and swap her to Grez. That way Grez is 9 of 9 for the Twisted Realm. Just make sure that Grez is still going to be used for the Twisted Realm because just like Dee said, the scroll vanishes. It's irreversible. So if it changes where Grez comes from, hey, everyone uses him in the Twisted Realm, to hey, now nobody uses him because it changed for the boss comp, so Grez is no longer used. Now you have a hero that you're not going to use, and you have a swap scroll, which is gone. So unfortunately, that's going to be kind of something to keep in mind and kind of hold on to because I don't know if we're going to have another one. So it seems like the swap scroll, this is it. It is just going to be one. When that one is gone, that's it. You don't get a second shot. It's permanent when it goes to the swap, and you're not going to have the opportunity to swap again. I don't know if Lilith is going to sell them. I don't know if you're going to have an opportunity to get another one. What's going on, Marcos? Thanks for joining the stream tonight. I don't know if essentially you're going to get another one, but we'll have to see. Yeah, and that's what I'm worried about, Smoker, is if you can buy it, that is where it really is a game changer, is if you can just go into the merchants. If you're a whale, you can go in here, you can pick up the swap scrolls. I think that's going to be really, really disappointing if Lilith goes ahead and swaps all those into the swap scrolls, or actually lets you buy the swap scrolls, just for the simple fact whales can buy a ton of swap scrolls and just swap whoever they want. It's implied swap scrolls will be available later. Now that I'm swapping my Chimera, I wish I'd saved those extra copies. She's going to 1 star. You'll get her. I mean, even if you drop her in the wish list, getting 4 stars on Chimera is relatively easy when it comes to building them. So let's pick up our heroes, guys. So here we got our 2 new trio heroes, which is what we want to try out. Boom, there is Peggy. Very, very cool with her little shell. And then we'll pick up Raku as well. And I want to see how well they do. It's a good point that we shouldn't have fodder off copies of heroes. Yeah, there you go. Later scrolls have not been announced. So again, with that, we don't know how much later it's going to be. Lilith is not one that changes things overnight. One other thing that did come up, boom, with the patch, Spring Jubilee. So you get some free loot out of here on top of all the free loot that we just got out of the chest. So you can actually pick this up. Quite a few diamonds there. Labyrinth of Limbo is back. Battle of Blood is still going on. But let's go ahead and we'll see. Yeah, the team comp's on here, Logan. are not going to be the best because remember, this is the test server. So we're going to kind of build what we can here. Chimera we've had as a main carry, but I want to try out some support. And again, she comes with 3 of 9 furniture, so not too bad. Didn't give me a plus 30 signature item either, but I just want to slow it down. There's her 2 guards. The archer or the cavalry comes out right away. And I want to see what's going on. Tobin64 got a brand new follower. Boom, there's the stun. So not too bad. The guards are still up, guys. Even though Screg went down, which of course Falling Sun's going to take him out. But one of my concerns was keeping the guards up. So let's swap this to the front. So essentially the guards will come up. So if she's on the top, they're going to go tank goalless right here with Chimera. There's the knockback and the stun. So I want to see if Chimera is going to attack them, which I think is the case. There's another stun, which is very, very cool. Yep, so she does attack the guards. And the guards are keeping all of the damage off Chimera. Please know I'm not swap scroll and how to do. What's going on? AFK Arena joined us. Welcome, AFK Arena. Yep, D has been explaining it. We went over it a little bit. So ultimately, I mean, that's pretty cool. It seems like she is tanking them fairly well. It seems like the guards are working fairly well. And that was my thought is if I have a tank up here, just like Scrag, we'll swap it this way. So Scrag's going to do a pushback. Peggy's going to summon these guards. They're shielded up, which it looks like they're fighting a minion in the back. Or they're fighting Sylvana in the back. So she moves to the middle, just like we see with Pharrell when he ults. So Peggy's right in the middle. But look, guys, the knight right here is just tanking Sylvana. The knight out here is just up here tanking with Screg. I think she's going to be pretty cool, guys. I think it's going to be, yeah, I think Peggy is going to be very, very cool. Not too bad, 7 million damage. She does have the heal as well, so almost 5 million damage healed. So overall, guys, though, even though the healing might not be that much, is she's keeping targets off of other heroes, which is the really, really big benefit. So I can see it used a couple different ways, especially if 1, she's used to support a tank like Screg, or 2, she's up here actually keeping damage off of Chimera, because her guards are going to knock Brutus back. It does take a couple seconds, about 5 seconds before they're in, but there was the knockback on Brutus. Even there, both guards are on the totems, so kind of distracted there. But there they go, guys, right to the front line after Brutus. And now they're going to do another knockback. What's going on? XYZ. Got another follower over on Twitch. Overall, the knights come right back. They come back to protect her. They come back to take out totems, pretty much anything that's around her. And they get shields through a majority of the battle. So that's very cool. It seems like she is going to work with a couple different. Yeah, kind of like a support Grez. That's what I have always thought, Soul. And that's why I have always loved those heroes. But then we look at like Baden, and Baden doesn't seem to do much of anything. So even if we dropped Rowan up here, we're going to have these knights come out. They're going to go tank for Rowan, do a knockback. And essentially, they're going to be pretty strong support. Boom, there's our volley of the cavalry, or not the cavalry, the shooter, the Cavaliers. Very cool to see, though. You're pushing with Shamir in almost chapter 29. Always said this game is levels, not heroes. Yeah, absolutely. I know Javid loves Shamira. That's why I built Shamira here all the way up to really, really push through. and see what she can do. So even there, you know what? Let's drop out Rowan. Let's go with Leica. I think Leica's going to die pretty early, but she stays a little bit back. And I'm hoping the tanks are going to pick up some of this. There we go. We got the tanks on Brutus. And remember, they stun. So there's 2 tanks there, and they both stun. So very cool. I think using Peggy in a couple different situations, I could see her working surprisingly well with some stronger tanks, especially if you put her with Arthur. If you put her with a couple different heroes, I could see her working really, really well. When is the Furry Hippo Challenge going live like that of Vulcan? Oh, I thought about it, Ash. I don't know if I could do another account. Right now we're kind of tapped out for the account. So let's run this a couple more times, see exactly how well it works. And again, we're just going to have to play around with it. See, she goes right to the middle. So Peggy does go straight to the middle again. So it might be good just to put her in the middle to begin. And I think the tanks will pick up both targets. So I know that's kind of the Rowan spot. I know that's kind of the Gwen spot. But I'm thinking, I want to see if the tanks, see, one will pick up Brutus, one will pick up Baden. So her being right in the middle is going to bring those knights on both sides. So you're going to be able to kind of back up your tanks on both sides, which is cool. That's going to be very, very cool. Peggy is my supervisor's name. Oh, yeah, that's kind of funny. Highwind. The ugly new guy probably going to be good late. Yeah, it seems like they got to be built. They tricked us to build Ullard. Ullard, a lot of people, or Al, as I call it, because a lot of people hate Ullard or Allard. So let's try swapping this out and putting in Raku, and we'll drop in Rowan back in here. Let's see what he does. Remember, he brings his own buffs. He brings his own crowd control. Boom. There's his acorn right there on Sophia in the back. There's the big acorn cannon. Took out Sophia with that. Wow, 8.46 million, so not too bad there. Again, I think he's really going to have a... I really think he's going to have to be built, and he's going to have a strong team to support him. Where I don't think Rowan's strong enough for tanks. We don't have that many here. We have Lucius. We have Damon. You know what? Let's swap in Lucius here. Hoping maybe we can survive for a minute. And at this level, Lucius dies really fast. Just like that. What's going on, Argonax? What if you unequip furniture before swapping? Do you keep the unequipped furniture? No, I don't think so, Day. That's a really good question. I don't think so. Because the furniture essentially is in your bag, but then you wouldn't swap anything. Yeah, so I don't think anything would kind of come with that because you wouldn't swap to anything. So if Roman had no furniture and I swapped to Lucius, it might swap with no furniture, or Lucius wouldn't get furniture. I don't know. That's do we make summon sessions like Vulcan? Yes, we do summons. I'll do viewer summons. We've done quite a few in the past. furryhippogaming@gmail.com. Go ahead and drop me some info in there or hit us up on Discord. I will definitely do some summon sessions. They are very, very fun to do. I really do enjoy doing the summon sessions. Ezio, we borrowed on this account, so we didn't have Ezio. He is the hero we garrisoned from last time. And it looks like here we're just going to get kind of destroyed. I have to build her just for my Eins carry. Seems like they... Oh, Logan, do you mean Peggy? Peggy would be a good mix. I have a Strilda and Lucius. If I swap them to push the faction tower, is that a good idea? No, I absolutely would not. Again, guys, with the scrolls, right now you only get one. You get one shot. Really, it is a reset or a do-over for a hero that you made a mistake, you built. Make sure it's going to be beneficial. Essentially, make sure when you use it, because you only do get one, that it is going to be for something you're looking for. You're not swapping just 3 pieces of furniture. You're not just swapping signature items. So essentially, the way that I look at it is, for instance, right now on my Wilder account, I have a plus 30 Almas maxed out with furniture. Boom, Almas is done. Almas hasn't been reworked. I don't know when they're going to rework him, probably pretty soon. But I'm sure if I went ahead and used my scroll on him, because he's a hero I do not use at all. Only thing that I've used him for is overall just using him as the food. Essentially, he's just been fusion material. Put Nara where Shamira is, pull her out of the damage reduction ability. Yeah, we could swap in. We could swap in Nara. We have quite a few heroes in this on this account that we've been kind of slowly building. So even if we picked up Nara there, let's go with our new hero support up front. I wonder if her tanks can come in and tank enough. See, she moves right back to that middle spot again. So Peggy is literally just going to sit in that middle spot. Is essentially where she's going to sit, kind of nonstop. The raccoon is the single target is a little tricky. I haven't made too many good single target characters. Yeah, it seems like we're just going to have to really have support around Raku. Similar to Respin, similar to a couple other heroes, it seems like it is just going to be based on keeping them alive, keeping them safe to allow them to really maximize that damage. So here, and this is one of the drawbacks that I see with Shamira, is in the case like this, she's not putting out damage fast enough. And you'll see it here. It's very, very evident. This is a tough chapter. When we get totems up, when we get Baden's minions up, same with Grez, is she usually does not kill them fast enough. She doesn't do enough burst damage to take them down fast enough to really make it effective. Because even here, she's not doing much damage at all to these totems at all. And Shamira is just doing nothing but attacking the totems. I mean, look at everything over, even with her dots. It's not doing much of really anything. Put Scrag with Rosa? Put Scrag with Rosa. I don't think Rose will follow Scrag. So what I've been running on here is a comp like this. So we've actually had Rose with Shamira trying to get the double ult. If we get the double ult off, usually that's enough power to make it work. This has been kind of the carry. So she drops back, she boosts Shamira. But there's the totems. Again, we don't do that much damage to totems. Other heroes of mine are useful in somehow, so I think just Estrilda is my mistake for the faction tower. Actually, Nigel, Estrilda I use a lot in the faction tower. So overall, I wouldn't say that hero is a mistake. I use her quite a bit in the faction tower, especially with the knockback, especially with Gwen. A bunch of different ways that I use her in the faction tower. Ultimately, I wouldn't go ahead and redo her. Wait, you can only get one ascension switch. We won't receive. Braden, right now, there could be more coming, but as of right now, nothing. You think Namora plus 20 9 of 9 is a big mistake? Should I swap her? No, I mean, Namora is not the worst to have at 9 of 9. The plus 20 signature item is good as well. That's where I keep her. With the amount of people resetting Shamira. Yeah, how funny would that be, Harry? If we all go ahead and reset Shamira, they're going to give her a big rework, and she's going to do massive, massive damage once they rework her. As soon as we swap her, I think they're going to do the same thing with Almas. Once I go ahead and I swap Almas, they're just going to go ahead and buff Almas, do a massive, massive buff to Almas right after I get rid of him and swap him, is what I'm thinking. Which we might have the RNG working. It looks like Baden went down on this one. And Shamira with the ult, there with the double ult. Just going to have to wait out Brutus's shield. But this has been the carry, guys. Rose Shamira, just like Rose Belinda, works very, very well. Just takes time. I think Namora is fine. Maybe swap with Ainz, Isolde, Pharrell. Yeah. Rose with Shamira and Scrag. Yeah, Javid, absolutely. I love this combination. Which 28-58, that is a super tough stage. Right here, we're going to have Nara's going to pick up Sylvana, and I love this grab with the impale. Boom, she teleports over. Boom, Nara pulls her right back. Completely knocking her down right there. I'm going to start saving gems and faction cards now because Peggy looks like... Yeah, Logan, I think Peggy is going to be really, really strong. Overall, again, I like how they build the characters, especially when it comes to newer characters in AFK Arena. They're always very, very strong. The newer characters they release always seem to dwarf the abilities of older characters, just making them stronger. So overall, they just look stronger. What's going on, Hoofbite? Hoofbite is joining us from over on the Summoner's Glory side. Where did I said? Yeah, Rose was scribed. Javid hit it right on. Hey, Hippo, been a fan for a while. Have you seen this new swap scroll thing? Yeah, Sloth. We the whole beginning of the video, we looked at the swap scrolls. Again, at this point, guys, I would save the swap scrolls. Just see what's coming down the pipeline. Check out what's going to happen with them. Because as of right now, we only get one. So if you go ahead and use your swap scroll early, you're going to have to kind of suck it up for the rest of them because there's not going to be one. There might not be another one for a while. You might have to buy it. You might have to earn it. Again, we're going to have to see essentially what it's going to be in the future. How do the new heroes look? I think that overall, I think that Peggy looks very, very cool. I like her abilities. I like the guards she brings right in. So the guards will actually tank everybody, which I'm wondering if putting her in Rowan spot, if the guards will tank Athalia. Because even there, they're stunning Athalia in the back. There she's stunned. There comes our musketeers. And I figured this one was going to be a little bit. Let me swap her to the back. I want to see if Athalia will just instant kill her. I'm sure she will. Boom. Yep, just instant kill, even at 4 stars. Not related to the new heroes, just got Mythic Twins, and their SI worth it to plus 30. War Destroyer plus 20. What's going on, Sion? Joining us from YouTube. Look at that. So another subscriber from YouTube. Oh, go to the 4-time. Yeah, we can go 4-time. So let's swap this back. I wanted to see how the new heroes looked. 4-time speed, super fast, guys. It's funny when you look at the normal speed that AFK Arena used to run until you got that 2-time speed. And now we got the 4-time speed. Not sure if they're going to add the 6-time speed in here. Maybe someday. Yeah, don't take the twins past 20. The big thing with the signature item on the twins is the survivability aspect. That's the plus 20 that you want, War Destroyer. Going past then, there is not really worth it. Maybe far, far down the line, but right now, yeah, not worth it to do it. Imagine how sick it would be if you could use the rare heroes past a point like Ascended Savius. So Sloth, we've actually talked about that a couple times, is some of the heroes. So essentially Lilith, I think last year, sent out something and said that they sent out a survey. I think it was a survey. I'm sure some of you guys seen. They sent out a survey and said, hey, what non-ascended heroes would you like to see? So I don't know if they've considered it. I don't think, obviously nothing became of it, but ultimately they were asking what heroes that are not ascended, what we'd like to see ascended, which again, I think would be pretty cool to your point. And Sion is a new member to the channel. Thank you for joining for a membership. You get a cool little icon, a little hippo next to your name for becoming a hippo supporter. Thank you very much. Still can't believe heroes like Raku are even considered to be added. It's ridiculous how a raccoon can kill even gods with an acorn. I know, Nikam, and I thought the same when we got Pippa in here. It was very, very cool to see with Pippa using her acorn ability. Kind of a squirrely kind of hero, but very, very funny to see indeed. And this one, you know what? Let's see. Wonder if we can get a hero down. We might have to swap this up. Again, this is on the test server, guys. So by no means is this really the ideal team comps. A lot of heroes on here I just kind of randomly built just because it is the test server. So we've kind of gotten what we've gotten. We can do a couple summons on here. We have quite a few. I think it is funny. Raku uses acorns to kill Zephyriel. So the acorns, that's it. The acorns just take him down, which we got it, guys. There we go. That is the big chapter 28 is done, guys. Chimera maxed out, still carrying. So look at that. And as many of you guys know from the free to play, this has been, we've used Chimera since the beginning. So Chimera has actually been our carry since we started this account. Again, big shout out to Javid building out Chimera. We've built Chimera out. We said, a lot of players said it wouldn't work. You know, her damage drops off. Here she is into chapter 39, and she has run 39 chapters. Yep, Chimera 29 or 29 chapters. There we go. Chimera has run 29 chapters on the test server. So very cool to see. Very cool to see that we can get her through there. Chimera is still pulling it. Yeah, I love Peggy. Is pretty funny to see. Yeah, Peggy is support. I like Petra. I think Petra is a very, very cool name. Wouldn't Raku be good for Portal Party? Yeah, Bitter Blossom. I think Raku would be really good for the Portal Party. I think ultimately we'd have to work him in, get him built up a little bit, but I think he would be ideal for the Portal Party. With Oden, with Pippa, putting everyone together. He's shaking his butt there, which is pretty funny. It's funny the route they've went with the Wilders, where, you know, they came from really serious swords and bows to what we got with you know, with Pippa and everybody else, just kind of sillier with the Wilder side. Princess Peggy's damage looks disappointing, although she's pretty OP with all those ads. Yeah, well, the big thing, yeah, Princess is, if you guys haven't noticed, she is support. So her abilities include the guards, which are very, very defensive, it seems. And also she has a heal. She has a couple debuffs in there. So she is support, especially if we could get some artifacts on her, a little bit better gear, probably even getting her furniture maxed out. I think she'll be pretty solid. Again, depending on the team comp, she is going to do absolutely phenomenal. She can support tanks. She can even kind of tank herself to a very, very low scale, I guess. But ultimately, very cool to see. Wouldn't Raku be good on guild bosses? So a lot of people have asked that too, which we can go ahead and check. Because remember, guys, again, this is the test server, so we can kind of do whatever we want. So we can drop him in here. Trying to think who else we really got. No, nobody else. We'll just drop him. You know what? We'll put him right in the middle. We'll go with this route. I just want to see what he's going to do for damage. So he eats his little fruit, picks up his haste. So let's see. We still got Chimera there with Rose in the bottom. But I could see probably running a Warwick in here to do the debuff. I'm running Rain in here for a boost. Again, this is not the ideal team kind of running in here. Honestly, I'm thinking about that swap scroll would be most efficient on an elite character or Celestial Hypogeans. Sloth, you can't put them on Celestial or Hypogen heroes. It is only the 4 primary factions only. And it would be more, again, the swap scroll, in my opinion, guys, which I know a lot of people have their own opinion. The big thing that I look at is heroes that people built in the past that they don't use anymore. So again, like I said, I max out an Almas with furniture, with a plus 30 signature item. Ultimately, if I don't use them anymore, you can swap them to a newer hero that you might use if you're looking to build Grez. If you fully decked out Rain, there's a couple of heroes that I could see it being effective with. Ultimately, I'm just going to save it, and then we'll see what comes with it. I have twins in Taylene Mythic. Who's sended first? If you haven't met Mythic, Nicholas, go for Taylene. Absolutely. So the twins, guys, the twins only need to be at Mythic. Get their plus 20 signature item at Mythic. If you already have Taylene at Mythic, Nicholas, go ahead. definitely get Taylene all the way built up. So let's see, guys. So 500 million. Where's he at? 109. So, I mean, overall, not too bad for damage. Again, if he's with a Warwick, if he's with a Rain, really boosting up that damage could make a very, very big difference, but might not be the strongest for the bosses. One thing that I noticed is when you're using him in here, when he buffs his own haste, everybody else is attacking. He's just back here eating fruit. So even with that slingshot, and you'll see him a couple times throughout the battle, for a battle that goes a full minute 30, he spends the time buffing himself. He spends some time buffing himself. There he goes again. He's eating the fruit. Instead of doing damage at that point, he's getting the buff himself. If you swap with 5-star, yep, exactly. So it's identical, guys. It's the swap is the ascension level, the swap is the furniture level, the swap is the signature level. So the signature item level, it's swapping all three. It is going to swap 1 for 1, and it can go between factions. Celestials and Hypogeans are not included. So excited. I got 263 billion in the Twisted Realm. Very nice, Darkblade. That is very, very good. Yeah, that's the other one, Wilmer, that a lot of players have been talking about. Is they see Chimera is probably going to get swapped a ton. A lot of people that built Belinda, that maxed out Belinda, short of using her in here, I think Belinda is going to get swapped out a ton. I think a lot of the swap scrolls are going to be between those two heroes. To build Isolde, to build Grez, I think a lot of players are going to build Grez. To build Saurus, to build Damon, I can see a lot of people, again, swapping them out. So we got 93 there. You know what? Let's swap in our super support here because we know she's going to bring a ton of damage to this one. And I wonder, haste with the guards. That would be actually pretty cool. Can we reset this? Yeah, exactly. Bitter Blossom. Swap scroll is more like, I'm sorry, Chimera. I'm sorry, Belinda. We'll just go ahead and swap. Honestly, I'd much rather have serious heroes than actually make you feel obsessed with the heroes. Fingers crossed they don't humiliate Greyborn's literally last man standing. Yeah, I see what you mean, Nikon. Yeah, I agree. Some of the factions, like, as we all know, the Maulers need help. The Maulers need a little bit of a rework. Again, I would save the swap scroll. I might save it and never use it. Who knows? But ultimately, there's going to be a point where it could be really good. And I think I can get out of here. Do you think I should swap my 5-star Chimera for Isolde or Silas? Daniel, it really depends what you have built. Again, it swaps the signature items. It swaps the furniture. So if you don't have those maxed out on those heroes, you're going to swap just 5 stars to another hero, and then you're going to have to build that hero up anyways. The swap scroll seems to be more of a mistake that you made, so essentially it's the fixing of it. And I want to try this again, and let's swap out, boom, and I want to drop in my twins. Again, I always build the twins first, and I want to see what the twins are going to do with the guards. What happens if you already have the copies, just not the food? If you swap, you'll end up with 8 more copies that you don't need. Yeah, Angel, you definitely could. So if I have a bunch of copies of Chimera and then I do a swap scroll to Chimera, I still have all those copies of Chimera, which is a very, very good point that I think a lot of people don't think about, is you're still going to have all those copies. But essentially the only thing would be using all of those extra Elite Plus copies of Chimera as food would be it. Hope we can get around 1 swap or more a month. That can have more fun experimenting. And that's what we've been, Backseat Gaming, that's what we've been talking about a lot. I really like the idea of them doing that. Actually giving us, let's say, a swap scroll once a month. You just get it in your mailbox to switch out heroes, to play around with heroes. Because remember, guys, the swapping is permanent. So you're not going to be able to go back. You're not going to be able to take it back. The swapping is going to be permanent. You'll be swapping Belinda for Isolde or Thorn. Yeah, and that's what a lot of people, I think, are going to do. Chimera plus 30 is a big mistake, or not that much because of Dark Namora. Ultimately, Smoker, Chimera plus 30 is not a life-changing mistake. It's not going to debilitate your account, especially because Chimera is still used in the Twisted Realm. I built her to a plus 30. The plus 20 works. The plus 30 is going to make a difference between... Let's look at the damage here. Look at that, guys. That's what I wanted to see. So ultimately, look at the damage. 725, 790, 643. So Peggy's support did 643 million. Raku was doing 100 million. So my thought between Peggy here is ultimately Peggy has two guards that are on the target, similar to Grez. I know that she doesn't steal, but they get the haste buff. So they get the haste buff there with her ability. And then also she has 5 of those snipers that come in, the musketeers that come in. All 5 of them are hitting the hero as well. This could be pretty cool to see. This could be definitely pretty experimental with her. I could see it changing a lot, a little bit, especially if we swapped out, let's say, Chimera for a Rain, or even swapped out Chimera and Rose for some other heroes, or kept Rose with Saurus. But ultimately, if Peggy was doing 30% more damage with Rain, or even a Warwick, she could do some serious damage. I think she could really do some serious damage in here, because look at that, guys. She's doing as much as, almost as much as Saurus, almost as much as Chimera completely maxed. That's very cool. So this might be somewhat of an early game new formation for Riz, or for even Soren. That's cool to see. Very cool to see. For Dura's Essence, they won't take away Essence, but add Essence for heroes you have newly ascended. It's quite OP. Yeah, with the Dura's Essence. Ultimately, I think it's going to be, I think the new heroes are pretty cool. Again, there's a ton of hype about Raku, and I don't know if it's just the character. I know there's going to be a lot of places, just like Respen, that we're going to use him, but I am super stoked about Peggy. To see Peggy built with the guards seems very, very cool. Chimera is a mistake if you are in the Fabled Realm. Oh, I'm actually in the Fabled Realm. Because again, this is the test server. Not that many people play. So I believe, or no, is the Fabled Realm? Maybe not. Twisted Realm. Yep, floor 280. So let's go ahead. We got the Burning Brute here. We're going to swap out. We're going to swap out Rowan. Let's drop in a Peggy in the back. We'll stay with the same formation. Hopefully Saurus will keep us alive here. But the Knights are up there doing their thing, guys. Boom, they get the shields. Boom, they get the haste. We'll see. What heroes would you say as best to swap that a later account might have that are bad late game? A lot of later accounts, Seth, you're going to have a majority of the heroes. Even when you look at my pay-to-win account, I have a majority of the heroes already built. There's not too many heroes. Current rank is 23. So what did we do in that one? 98, 66 million. So I'm thinking if you can buff her up, that's going to be pretty good. I'm absolutely shocked with her being support class that she is putting up a decent amount of damage. And I'm wondering if with some of the support artifacts, if she could boost some haste in there, if she could work a little bit different, it'd be pretty cool to see. Current rank 23. Let's go ahead and we'll give it a couple more tries. Chimera's a mistake if you... Oh, yeah. What heroes would you say is best to swap? I have enough for 1-star Estrilda, but I'm going for Peggy. Yeah, you can just save it. You can save it, Alexander. If you want to build Peggy, ultimately definitely build Peggy. We stayed at 23. She seems really cool. I like her. I love the idea of the Knights with the shields. There's our Musketeers as well. Again, when they focus damage, it seems like it's going to be really, really strong here. And I'm wondering if we swap out... Chimera in this one. So I'm thinking still at 22, so we went up a little bit there. Let's drop out Chimera. We'll go with this route so they'll follow them in. Let's drop in Rowan, I think, for a little bit more support, and we'll see. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Ally Gamer is she isn't even maxed out, so she still does have quite a bit of room for improvement, which would be very cool to see. And I wanted to see her with Rowan, especially because it's going to be the chain reaction, the Rowan twins cycle to try to keep these heroes alive, essentially. Which it looks like Rose went to Rowan. Not too bad, though, overall. Shamira and Belinda are probably, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Backseat Gamer, Shamira and Belinda are definitely the ones that I can see a lot of people doing. Is plus 20 to plus 30 Shamira a big change? It is a significant change. There we go. So we got Legends 14. So it was just kind of Sora's carrying the damage there, but 80 million. 80 million from support, which support, all four support. She does a lot of damage for being support, which is cool. Very cool to see. Yeah, I don't think I can get I don't think I can get Rose to follow. I don't think I can get Rose to follow Peggy. Let's swap this way though. But I think Rose is following Peggy. Rose is following Peggy. That's pretty funny. So Rose is following Peggy there. They're introducing more and more heroes that throw enemies in the air and synergize well. Yeah, no, man, I definitely agree. All of the newer heroes bring a lot of crowd control. They have a lot of crowd control. They have the knockbacks. They have the knock-ups. It's kind of mandatory at this point, I think. So let's see. So 328, 352. So this was our best attempt, which again, 80 million damage. It's going to be interesting to see her. I think it's going to be very, very cool to see her ultimately. Drez, Verk, Kasos, Atrana, Antandra, I think are completely useless, with Titus being very niche and Warwick useful for bosses. Screg is the only good mauler. For as far as maulers, I mean, Sophia does well. When you look at Sophia's skill, overall doesn't need the furniture, which is good. Signature item helps a lot because when this turns to Scatterbolts with her plus 30, Scatterbolts stun targets. So essentially, if you keep Sophia alive, Bitter Blossom, she can chain stun targets with that Scatterbolt, which is good. Splits into 3 orbs. So now she's hitting 3 targets plus stunning. The static field does a considerable amount of damage. Spectral Disruption always damage is increased by 24%, while reducing the attack rating of heroes in there. And then, of course, probably next to Ain's the most powerful ultimate ability. It does take time to power up, but a majority of the time, if this is full power and it goes off, it kills anyone that it hits. So essentially, it does kill anyone that it hits. You think 9 of 9 Grez can be used in another place instead of bosses without Alna? I do Smoker, so if you guys have seen on the pay-to-win account, I do use Grez. I have a maxed out 9 of 9 plus 30 signature item. I use him in the campaign quite a bit. The only thing with Grez is you have to allow him to scale. If he can scale, if he can get up minions, especially because the minions come up shielded with that 9 of 9 ability, it works out very well because, again, they come up shielded, which is good. So let's go ahead, guys. We'll do some summons. We got a couple more minutes here. Ultimately, we've been saving. Here, we're looking for Taylene, which we've still been looking for Taylene. So I'm hoping, watch, we'll probably pull the 30,000 diamonds because it's on the test server, which is funny. On my 43 Ascended, I'm thinking Lucius and Belinda. Not sure who else would be good for swapping. Kind of stinks. I took everyone to ID for AE and don't have any at Elite Plus. Just give it a little bit of time, Seth. And that's what I said before, guys. Remember, you're only getting 1 scroll right now. Just go ahead and make sure that you save it for right now. You don't want to use it too early and then regret it. Make sure that you go ahead and save it. I wouldn't do Shamira. Yeah, exactly. Shamira you're going to need. Belinda, a lot of people don't use, but Shamira ultimately for the Twisted Realm, you're going to have Shamira. Careful with the links though. The dim will reset or restart too. Yeah, if it's linked, they'll reset as well. What is the new trading hub? Here's the trading hub. I don't think... this looks all the same. I don't know. We have quite a few in here. Nothing yet. As we know, the mini Abyssal Expedition is coming pretty soon, which is going to be 5-man group teams. So it's going to be interesting. So it's going to be you and 5 of your friends going into the Abyssal Expedition, which is going to be the mini AE. I'm not sure what else they're going to call it, but ultimately it's going to be pretty cool. The mini Abyssal Expedition. Yeah, definitely wouldn't do Chimera. I should be counting how many times you say, yeah, support. Well, you got to drink when I say support, guys. We'll see who passes out first. Is 9 of 9 furniture on Rosa important at all? The 3 of 9 for her does well. The 9 of 9, not really. So we even kept her at the 3 of 9. This does not make a difference. 3 of 9 is decent for her. Not going to be really anything that's going to break or really miss out. Having her signature item is good because at the plus 30, it raises crit rating and dodge, which is very good. What's going on, Mandra? Thanks for joining the stream. Can you show us your resonating crystal? Oh, the resonating crystal, we're at 315. I want to see how you take levels, your heroes. Oh, once you hit 240, so essentially with the resonating crystal, once you go ahead and hit this at 240, what's going on, Carlene? We got a new follower over on Twitch. Once you hit 240, the resonating crystal actually alternates. You lose all of your heroes up here for players that haven't seen it yet. And then you just level up the crystal itself. The crystal itself is still maxed out, but ultimately you just level out the crystal. Instead of leveling up specific heroes, you just level up the crystal and it makes it really easy. Leveling up the crystal, again, used to be step by step based on the Twisted Realm. Now just go all out. Just go ahead and level up the resonating crystal as fast as you can, as much as you can is really the way to do it. So let's go ahead. We'll just do a couple quick summons here. So we got some diamonds, a couple scrolls, then of course some companion points. Can I post a link for all furniture builds? Yeah, if you want to post a link, yeah, for furniture builds, just making Belinda signature. Yeah, I think a lot of people that have Belinda at a plus 30 signature item are going to be using swap scrolls, is what I think. Yeah, I'm definitely excited with the swap scrolls. I think it's going to be really cool. There's our first elite, guys. It is. There she is. We got Peggy unlocked. Since we borrowed her for the 3-day trial, it doesn't unlock her. But there's our first copy of Peggy. So right off the bat, guys, we got a copy of Peggy, which is very cool to see. I want to build her. Is 3 of 9 for Lucius worth it? No, Lucius's furniture is not worth it. Scion, as you get a little bit further, Lucius is not used anymore. Very rarely in the tower. I use Hendrik more than I use Lucius. So essentially, I use Estrilda more than I use Lucius. There's no reason to really build him up any further, honestly, which here, I believe we can pull Peggy out of here. But we have one more scroll. Oh, we're maxed out. And I still have to go through here and see exactly who we can build, or essentially what we can build. Because this account, again, being test server, I don't use it that much. But you know what? We're going to use these. We're going to look for Peggy. Who do we think the worst hero? Absolutely disappointed, Ryan, is Almas. Almas is definitely one that I feel is probably the worst hero. And as most of you guys know, I love Groot, Guardians of the Galaxy, Groot, Star-Lord, Rocket, Raccoon. Absolutely love them. Groot has always been my favorite. And for them to put Almas in the position he is now, absolutely hate it. Which we got Rowan and we got Cecilia there. I think we have a couple. Yep, so those are our chests. Here we got a couple scrolls. And again, we just kind of save stuff on here. This is our hero scroll. So I don't think they didn't include Peggy in here. So we got no Peggy, which would have been a free copy there. Got a couple stones, which we got not too bad. We got double Warwick, which is used. We have Drez, we have Grez, we have Nemisu. Still working on Arthur on this account. I think I got one of the shards down. I'll be using mine to swap my signature 20 Nomura with my Grez. Yeah, that'll be awesome. And Carlium, that's what a lot of players are doing, is swapping to Grez, especially if you have a plus 20 signature item, 9 of 9 Nomura, and your Grez is 0 of 9. Swapping it there will be a really, really big change, honestly. So let's go ahead. We'll do our select summons. I'm hoping we can pull a couple more copies because she's in the boat. She's in the heroic ship right now. So we'll see if we can pull a double Peggy, guys. That gives us 3 copies already of Peggy. Very cool. Lilith wants us to build Peggy. There she is, guys. Boom, an Elite Plus copy. We need one more, and I think we have a little bit of food on here. We could probably use a couple heroes to build her out a little. Yeah, I know. I get really good pulls when we stream. That's why I save all of those until we get this. What heroes do you think are going to be priorities to tier 3? That's a really good question. When it comes to the tier 3 priority, I think number 1 is probably going to be Grez. I honestly think number 1 is going to be Grez just because he is used everywhere in the Twisted Realm. So ultimately getting his gear up faster is going to allow the minions to do more damage, and then essentially doing more damage in the Twisted Realm. I think it's going to be really, really broken. So there's our other copy of Peggy's, guys. We got 2 more summons as well, and I did swap them into the wish list. There is Peggy. There is Raku. And again, we're completely full. Elite Plus Peggy. Love to see that. I will definitely look to build her up now that we got a couple copies of her. So very cool. Copy of Oscar. Newer hero, still could use definitely a rework for Oscar. We got 5 more rares there. And our final summon, which is another elite. Can it be Peggy? It is Rowan. Rowan again. Very nice. What does the animated icon for the new heroes? Oh, that's a good question. Let's check that out. We got 2 pulls here, which we'll do full again. I don't think I bought any backspace or any bag space on this account. So they're telling us because we are full that we're going to pull Taylene right here. Oh, just got a Wilder. And number 2 is Greyborn. So not too bad. Got 2 cards out of there. Let's check those out. That's a really good questions. When do you spend diamonds unlocking more spots in the resonating crystal? Seth, usually you're not going to. For a majority of it, you won't have enough heroes for the resonating crystal. It'll level up pretty quick. You'll realize you have enough slots. Essentially, there is our Peggy. Got another one there, which we can, again, build her up a little bit. I think probably once or twice I've used diamonds to unlock more spots in the crystal just because we needed more heroes. I did need more hero room, and that was only because it was on the pay-to-win account. And again, we needed a lot more room. We needed space in there to put in heroes to use for a bunch of different things that we didn't have room for. Ultimately, I wouldn't spend the diamonds in there unless you're just doing it once or twice. Is Isabella good enough to put on the wish list early? Warren, absolutely. Very, very good. The Isabella rework, if you've seen her on the Graveborn account, awesome. Just absolute awesome, the amount of damage that she does. So let's see. I think we got, again, quite a few for Peggy, which will take these 2. And it's pretty cool because we'll be able to build her up a little bit. And I think we already have food down here. There she is, guys. We'll drop her in the crystal. She is mythic. There's her signature item. And then we have, again, more than enough food here. The test server, we're not super, we don't play it that much, even though we're in chapter 29 now. Boom. Peggy Mythic Plus. Look at that, guys. They wanted her to build Peggy. So Lilith gave us more than enough copies. So there's our free Peggy. Here's our built Peggy. We got more than enough, again, to build her up a little bit. So very cool. We can definitely try her out and try our own Peggy out because we can throw artifacts on her. So very cool. Who is your favorite hero? Let's see if the viewers know this. Since you guys know me pretty well, who is my favorite hero? Because I know I've shared with you guys a couple times. Ryan loves Ainz, then Joker. I had to unlock a few with diamonds, but I'm at 50 ascended. That's what I think. Carlium is you might do it later game, but ultimately you're not going to unlock them early. There's no reason. You get more than enough of your little resonating crystal pieces. There we go. So we got her to, I'm not even sure how many chests we got. A couple more. Look at that, guys. They do know me. Javid, LeBlaze, Rowan. Rowan is still my favorite. Rowan has always been my favorite hero. Nope. Was not Almas, guys. It is Rowan. So there we go. So not too bad. Plus 23 signature item. Guards are immune to control effects when beside Peggy. Very, very cool. I think plus 20 for her would be all that you need. Especially if the guards are next to her. She's probably going to die, is what I think. And also they gave her haste, which is absolutely awesome. So we'll go ahead and put the call on her. That way she has more haste on top of the haste they already gave her. But yes, guys, Rowan is my favorite hero. Should I swap Lucius 2-star with Respin? Max Leon, depending how much you have Lucius built, ultimately it could be a possibility. I would probably save it because Respin is good. Respin does take a lot of investment. But again, guys, when you're swapping heroes, and this is really the big thing to remember, it is swapping signature items. It is swapping the ascended rating, so Shamira at 3 stars. It is swapping furniture. If you're swapping for 1 or 2, if you don't have the signature items built, if you don't have the furniture built, essentially you're losing out a lot of the swap. And when you do the swap, you're going to have to build the hero anyways. So I would, again, really take your time. Don't hastily just jump right into the swap, especially if it's a hero you could possibly use in the future. For instance, Max Lucius, we have him built here. He is the hero that I use, plus 20 signature item. We have his gear on here. I use him in the Lightbearer Tower all the time on the test server. He does very, very well. The survivability does drop off in a while, but ultimately he is the main tank that I have here. Getting him further than a plus 20 signature item, there's no point. Same with furniture. There's no point in getting him furniture. He's not a real tank. He's primary regen instead of being primary tank or damage mitigation. They could rework him essentially if they took Lucius, if they put a damage mitigation factor in him, he would be absolutely amazing. The animation pictures, let's look at those. Let's actually pick up the rest of our loot here, guys. So boom, we got free loot there. We got free loot there. More gear. That is 2 that we got out of the box. And then we got 1 more right there. So 3 pieces for Peggy. 50 more emblems. And there is the frame. Definitely want to get the frame. Look at that, guys. Cute little Princess Peggy or Petra with her crown. Very cool. Very cool looking, guys. I'm guessing Peggy will be your second favorite. Well, the other thing, Mandra, is I love the heroes that summon. Grez, Baden, Nemitsu, Peggy. I've always been, even going back to other games, I've always been summoning specs, summoning classes. Even going back to 1998 with Ultima Online, I was a tamer to have pets, to have more ads. Dark Age of Camelot was a summoner with ads. Bone Dancer, played for a long time. I've always, for some reason, loved the games or the heroes that have ads, that have more addition to it forever. It's kind of funny because it has been forever. And then Raku right there. Looks like just a raccoon. A raccoon in a hat. So very, very cool. If you want to look like I think that would be pretty funny up here, just with a a raccoon in a hat. I thought it might be a little bit different, but no, Lilith just went full raccoon. Yeah, that's my thought, Alexander. It's very cute. That is very cute, especially with the avatar frames around it. It's little bubbly, kind of reminds me of Genshin Impact with the heroes they have, the animation, so very cool. A lot of people absolutely love Ullard as well. I think it's very cool looking with his metal mask. And Respin is awesome because of the glowing eyes. The glowing eyes, the little mark on the forehead. Very, very cool, guys. And I love it's got like the little gold twinkles or the gold flakes. I don't know if you guys can see it because I have a bigger monitor here. But there's like little golden flakes that kind of fly around. And same with him. He's got like little blue, like almost snow that's kind of going through there. I have Ullard, the animated one. I don't have it yet. I'm very, very close on the pay to win account. We're very, very close. I don't like Respin at all. What about you? I think Respin overall, Respin is a hero that has to have a team built around him. He does well. He does a ton of damage. A lot of players are using him in chapters 36, 37, 38, 39. Really, really end game, fully built because he brings the haste. So right here, he not only, so the 2 wind swallows don't make a difference. So his 3 of 9 furniture don't make a difference. The 9 of 9 furniture is very, very strong. And then of course his signature item on there as well. The signature item is really the big boost. After manifesting 6 swallows, all allies have their haste increased by 25 points, which is huge. Guys, again, haste is the biggest attribute of AFK Arena. And that's a 25 point boost on top of all of the haste that heroes already have. Yep, Respin is the Eins counter. Respin is very, very powerful, but he is a hero that takes the plus 30 signature item. He is the hero that takes the 9 of 9 furniture. Just like just like Eins, you have to have them completely built. You have to have them completely maxed out, which there's my Eins. As you can see, not maxed out. I built out Ezio a little bit because I actually borrowed him in here. He is garrisoned for another 46 days. Ultimately, Eins I haven't even used on here because, again, I don't play the test server that much other than to preview the new stuff like we did today. But it's very, very cool to see. And thank you, Ryan. Favorite YouTuber. Thank you. I absolutely love doing YouTube, guys. I love interacting with you guys, talking to you guys. That's why I like going through and answering questions. And big shout out to Javid and D because they answer a lot of questions if I can't get to them. But ultimately, guys, we are in chapter 29. We're going to continue to push this as more content comes out. I know a lot more stuff is coming. And with the patch, usually it takes a week. A lot of people ask when the patch is going to drop on the live servers. Usually they put up the notes on Monday. Tuesday is usually patch notes. If we do anything that they've done in the past, it's always been roughly the same schedule. They did drop one patch on a Saturday, I think, which was the event for Taylene. That was the only one that they essentially did there, which was out of the normal, but usually they just drop them on the exact same time. Also looking here, I think, let's check out the skins. I think the skins are here as well. Now that I was just thinking of it, I believe they are. They might not actually be up yet. Look at that, guys. That is just absolute badass. That is so cool looking. I just now thought about the skins. I want to see what it looks like. Look at those flaming arrows with the even the arrow shooting has the music notes. Blue for the ice arrow, red for the fire arrow. That is awesome. Yeah, Gwen can melt Eins very, very quick. That is very cool looking, guys. That is definitely a skin worth picking up. I'm hoping they give it to us for free. But that is awesome. That is so cool looking. And I think they did one for Skarath, if I'm not mistaken. There he is. Total Reminds me of like a New Orleans kind of a pimp gangster. Again, he's got the music notes that he's throwing there. The falling rocks turn to music notes. Sandstorm's got music notes everywhere. And I want to see the ultimate. So very, very cool looking. I like Scarrass skin because it's easier to see on the ground. Yeah, that's the exact same reason, Ryan, why I like Sophia's new skin with the white. That's why we bought it. I love how it looks, which there you can definitely see it. Sophia's skin is another one that actually just came out, but I love the skin here because I can see it. That was really the big thing there. But I think, didn't Isolde get one? Which I've never actually seen the one that I think, didn't Isolde? No, see, I didn't think that was Isolde the bottom. Is that all the skins? There's no Isolde skin. A lot of people said like the accordion looking thing in the bottom was Isolde, but I don't think it was Isolde. It isn't out yet for Isolde. There you go. So it is not out yet, but it looked like it had like an accordion, a bunch of metal pipes essentially to replace things here. So it is not. What's going on, Adele? Thank you for joining us. So next month, so next patch, Isolde's will be out. And remember, guys, the AFK 2-year anniversary is coming very, very soon. So get ready for that. Lilith likes to go big. We haven't had any codes lately. We haven't had much really going on as far as the freebies. They did give us that amazing chest, which you get in Chapter 8. We got the swap scrolls. We got the tier scrolls. They gave us a ton of loot. Mythic variety chest. I absolutely love this. So what do you want to look? What do you want to pick? I love the format. How they did this is so very, very cool. You can actually pick whatever you want to and just do your selections out of there. Same this one, we can pick our gear, but that is very cool with the Mythic variety chest. Show Lorzen. Let me see Lorzen. So there is, where's Lorzen? Oh, it's not there either. Yep, so that one is still. Raku and Peggy, I think they're very cool, Pixel Fox. We got really lucky with Peggy. We did borrow her right here, so we had her kind of built, but then we did some summons, pulled some amazing pulls, got her built to Mythic Plus. Peggy, we tested her on the bosses. We tested her on Riz. We tested her on the Burning Brute. She does significant damage. So just very, very cool to see. Ultimately, it'll be very cool to see exactly how she's built, what teams she's going to work with. Essentially, I could see her definitely with a couple different artifacts, such as this one, allowing her to increase the haste where she doesn't have to ult that much. But I think ultimately this is going to be very, very cool to increase haste further and also negate the enemy's haste, which could be good. Overall, we'll have to see what comes. Yep, we just hit over 16,000 subs, guys. So we are well on our way to 20,000. We're going to start doing giveaways very, very quickly. I know we haven't done any for a little bit. Ultimately, we're going to start doing a couple giveaways. We were doing them every month, and then it just got kind of crazy. There is the skin for Gwen. I think it is absolutely phenomenal looking. Whoever designed this with the bow being a horn is awesome. It is so absolutely awesome, man, on how very cool it looks. It definitely, I mean, even probably might be the best skin that they have. I think that is absolutely awesome looking with how very, very cool that it looks. And guys, if you haven't run the new Voyage of Wonder, I know a lot of you guys have already run it. If you haven't run it, you have to run it 4 times. That is right. To complete it out, it is 4 times that you have to run it. So it's absolutely crazy that Lilith would do the Depths of Time 4 times. But ultimately, I think after this is going to be done, they're going to do the same and drop it into the Peaks of Time. So I'm sure we're going to see the Depths of Time 3 down here, which I'm hoping you don't have to run it 4 more times. New artifact. Yep, the new artifact is out as well. I know we didn't talk about that. The new artifact is out. which is very, very powerful. So the Verdant Bow is going to be a very strong. I can see it doing really well with Gwen. I can see it on Leica doing really well. Deals 230% damage to a target, ignoring their defense. So essentially, Gwen is going to be allowed to ignore their defense with normal attacks, which we know the fire and the ice arrow are both normal attacks. So if she's hitting a target with no defense rating, she is going to destroy them. I honestly think she is going to melt targets with normal attacks. And then if you drop this behind Arthur with the increased normal attacks, even put Rose with Gwen behind Arthur, Gwen is just going to absolute burn people down. Absolutely. Is Kren's alt counting for Vered Longbow? I'm not sure if the alt will Burning Blossom, but ultimately with Kren, which we have, we'll just check him out here. And I don't know about that because I know Kren, especially when you're building him, the signature item. So this is his normal attacks. Normal attacks are enhanced once after using a normal attack one time. So essentially, he's going to chain stun. I would assume when he goes to stun, when he does this damage with the normal attacks, it's going to get rid of the armor. Or the defense. I think it's going to be able to, Rangers are going to be able to burn down targets really, really fast if they have no defense with those normal attacks. Because remember, it only applies to normal attacks. And that's what it says. So with some of the ultimates, with a couple different things, it shouldn't count because it is just normal attacks. So essentially, I don't believe this is normal attack. Most of these are normal attacks. It's a normal attack that is going to trigger that. So essentially, I'm not sure if it's going to make the regular attack do more damage, which it will because of the defense reduction. But in addition, it's going to do damage itself. So the artifact itself is going to do damage. Yeah, I can see it being pretty broken in a lot of different scenarios. I can see it working very, very well on a bunch of different Rangers that I definitely want to see it on, especially heroes like Lucretia. So if she's mitigating damage or defense, is some of the tougher targets that she has to deal with. If she goes and gets that huge 50% boost with her furniture, and now she's ignoring defense, I'm thinking that she is just going to literally just run through targets. Even worse than she already does. I think it's going to be absolutely crazy how fast she's going to go through targets. I really do think she is going to be absolutely crazy. I'm working on testing right now. Keep an eye out on Reddit for results. Yeah, again, guys, this is the test server. So a lot of heroes in here we don't have built. There's a lot of heroes we don't have maxed out. It's kind of hard to test on this side. Once this goes live, usually within the first week, we can test out on bosses. We can test in Twisted Realm. We can test out in all the different scenarios because they will be up on the main account. People will have them maxed out the first day. They'll have Peggy 5-star. They'll have the furniture built. They'll have the signature item built. New artifact work with Leica? Absolutely, it will work with Leica. Because remember, guys, Leica is big right here. Raises damage by 0.2 for every point of accuracy. The new artifact is bringing more accuracy. Essentially, this is going to be a perfect one for Leica. Effect is triggered every 3 normal attacks. Remember, guys, they are right here, 9 of 9. Every normal attack targets the nearest enemy, and it nears 2 enemies simultaneously. So now the normal attack is going to hit 2 enemies. Now the normal attack is also going to have that buff that is going to come up along with it. So I really think heroes like Leica, especially if Leica is made a core in a team. So if you drop out Iran, put support around Leica, Leica does a ton of damage. And this is just going to make her do a ton more damage because now she's going to have that big burst and she's going to ignore defense. So if she's hitting tank heroes, putting her with Rowan, putting her with the twins, putting her with support to increase her attack, even putting her with Arthur, I think honestly is going to be crazy. I was wondering who after Taylene twins, Mahira or Lucy. I would go for Lucretia. Absolutely. So essentially, once you have twins at Mythic, either going for Taylene or going for Lucretia are the priorities. Definitely. I use Leica out front, so not going to be that good. But even then, if you swap her artifact, so if you're running Leica out front, put the Shroud on her to get this defense. There's a lot of different ways, and I love the artifacts have the versatility of changing it up. And what is my favorite faction? You are right, Ryan. Graveborn. I absolutely love the Graveborn. I love the Graveborn account. When you look at the lineup of heroes they have, almost all of them are really, really strong. A lot of people that have Kalthar built is really good. Silas is good. Baden could use a rework. But when you look at Thorin, when you look at Grez, Daemon, Nara, Shamira, when you look at Thorin, when you look at everybody in the Graveborn Pharrell, they're all really, really strong. So it is very, very cool. The Graveborn faction has always been one of my favorite, and they're very strong. Even Theowen in the Abyssal Expedition does really, really well. Could use a little bit of a buff or a rework, but ultimately she does well. We don't want every hero cannot be S or A+. So guys, that will do it for our stream for tonight. Again, guys, thank you guys for joining me. Absolutely love Daemon. He is a monster to build. And if you guys have seen, Daemon is a very early game carry, and he'll carry you through the whole entire game. It is very, very cool to see. But again, guys, thank you guys for joining me for the stream tonight. That will do it. On the test server, the new heroes will be up very, very shortly. Again, we're over 16,000 subs, so we are definitely growing the channel. Absolutely love doing the live streams. So again, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, Sion, for joining us as a member of the channel, a brand new member. Hey, Insomnia, Dark Blaine made his AFK YouTube channel. I would definitely look it up. Dark Blaine has been a fan and a viewer for a long time. So again, guys, that will do it for tonight. Thank you guys for joining me. Have a great night. Be safe out there. And as always, thank you guys for watching.